Okay, good evening and welcome to the SMS. Tonight, myself, Ng Chi Sing, will be conducting this session. So, where the metal ox drives the economy in 2021. So, as usual, we start with the disclaimer. The information and materials provided in this talk is for education purpose only. Nothing presented in this talk should be construed to be a recommendation to buy or sell any specific security. The information, software, and techniques presented should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Singapore Microcomputer Society (SMS) and its executive committee have no liability for any investment decision based on the use of its software, any trading strategy, or any information provided in connection with the talk. All right. So the menu for the evening slightly different from what you received earlier because I tidy up the thing a bit. So this is the menu. So we will look at the overview of the economy, the economic views, the technical views, metaphysical views, that means the feng shui view, and what are the choice you have. Okay. Now, come 2021, the COVID-19 pandemic has sent the global economy into one of its worst recession ever, and it isn't clear yet when a full recovery will be in place. So recent progress on coronavirus vaccine has brightened the economic outlook, but some economists say a potentially slow rollout of vaccine across the developing countries' economies could hamper the return of activity to pre-pandemic levels. So even among advanced economy, renewed lockdowns in Europe, especially in UK, in a bid to stave off a resurgence in infection could push back economic recovery, according to the economists. The vaccine discovery is a shot in the arm, but not until 2020. Citibank, the economist said in a report early in December. Still, there may be clear improvement in the global economy in 2021, partly because it's not hard to beat or to be better than 2020, they say. So, however bad 2021 going to be, will not be so bad compared to 2020. All right, agree? So, I share with you about 5 slides on this extracted from CNBC. Now, economic has hit us from COVID-19 pandemic. So you look at the percentage change in quarterly GDP from the same period a year ago. So from 2006 quarter 3 until 2020 quarter 3, you can see that the red line, now the bar here is the bar here, the vertical bar here, it represents that time where the global financial crisis hit us in 2008 quarter 3. So during that time, you look at China, also their GDP also dropped, very sharp drop, and then recover very fast through. Same with other economies, the US, the blue line, the green line is the Euro area, and Japan is the worst in the yellow line. So Japan, when recover, it also overshot the rest, and then later on it taper around this level between 0 to 5% GDP growth. Then come coronavirus pandemic, there's you can see the sudden drop in, especially the around March 8 time 2020, there's a sharp drop, and then most of them recover back, but still minus -5, -4 like that, except for China. It has gone to positive 5% GDP growth. So you can see the overview of the performance of the world economy at a glance because of, and you can also note that compared to the global financial crisis, so this time around is one of the much worse than the GFC's crisis, this coronavirus crisis. So that's why things can be only be better, cannot be worse than last year. Now, look at the color of the world map. The light blue is partial closure of border. The dark blue is complete closure of borders. Then the negative PCR test, and then light gray is other measure. And then the green is all travel restricted leave. So you look at the map, hardly you can see any green. No? Only thing we have this the reddish, or you can call it brownish reddish one, the tip of South Africa, the Eastern Africa area, and this Thailand, they have partial special area. But Singapore is supposed to be the green, but because we are so small, cannot be seen. So you can see with this so-called restrictions on international travel, how do you think can the actually so-called a global city like Singapore going to able to turn the economy around fast enough? Because in order for us to turn around fast, we have to open our borders, and other people also should be also reciprocating. And of course, when we open our borders, we hope or we try not to import too many of these cases into our country, whereby it will be out of control also. So you can see the big picture that is not very optimistic really. That's why now everybody is looking forward to the vaccine. Okay, sorry. Back to here. The next one, go back. Sorry. Okay. Job losses accelerate during pandemic. The worst case is the blue one, US. You know, the US job losses is about 14 over almost 14.5% unemployment rate. I mean, this time around, compared to, you see, the global financial crisis, you know, the unemployment rate with the percentage-wise, yellow was Japan, was also not so bad. Then China was the red color, the OECD. OECD over the economic, the OECD countries. Then the green one is the Europe area. Blue is US. So you can see global financial crisis, unemployment rate is quite serious, but not so bad compared to this round. But after the GFC, we have the European debt crisis. Also, there's also quite widespread unemployment. But the worst case is European area, no? So come COVID-19 pandemic, you can see US unemployment rise up to 14%. And the yellow one is Japan, is about 3% or so. Okay, then the OECD, red color, right? So next, look at the public debt climbs in the pandemic. Ratio of general government gross debt to the GDP. So that means how much government debt is there versus their GDP. So you can look at it, the most so-called developing countries debt is about how many? 60 over 6, about 65, about 60 to 70%. Then China is close to 80% of GDP, and the Euro area is almost 90%. And advanced economy, their debt is much higher, and worse is the US. And the reason why all this their public debt climbs so high is because they are busy printing money to support the economy, right? And in addition, major central banks expand their balance sheet and lower interest rate, so much so that you look at a lot of countries are now their bank is hardly paying you any interest. You put a fixed deposit now or no, and some even to the negative situation. So you look at the black bar here, the global financial crisis. That time, the asset in terms of trillions, that time was around between 1 to 3% like that this year. And then the global financial crisis, the policy rate that time, it dropped from 4% to almost 1%. And then since then, the European banks, the policy rate has been 1 or now go for 2014 dropped to 0 now and still maintaining at 0. Same for yellow. The Bank of Japan also almost 0%, right? So you can imagine only the blue one is Federal Reserve, the US. They are supposed to be doing better than other economy, but then come coronavirus, they also drop to close to 0. So everybody or all the central banks are loosening their monetary conditions or the interest rate so as to boost the economy. That means hopefully that means the businesses, they will borrow money and all those things. But fortunately or unfortunately, most of these economies or most of the banks down there, instead they are using the money to churn and then play the stock market. That's why you can look at US market is in spite of all the trouble, they keep on shooting to the roof. Now have a look at the Morgan Stanley real GDP growth forecast. You see, for the year just over 2020 estimated, not all confirmed yet, but most of them will be around this or be worse than that. Global is minus 3.5% GDP growth. That means negative growth. Euro area is minus 7.2. UK is minus 11.4. Right? China is only 1 plus 2.3. That means the economy is growing, actually growing. All the other economies are all in the negative territory. So come 2021 estimated, Morgan Stanley estimate is global should recover to 6.4 positive, developed markets 5.1, right? US 5.9, Japan 2 point something, emerging markets or 7.4, and China 9. You see, China is still 遥遥领先, is still showing very strong economy. India 9.8, Brazil 4.3, and Russia 3.4. So these are the Morgan Stanley forecast. Consensus, that means all the other economies forecast. So they differ somewhere, but you can see that most of them believe that India and China will lead the world economy out, plus some of the emerging markets. Right? There are some talk that Indonesia is one of the countries that were likely to bring up the world economy also. So 2021 and 2022 estimated. So come 2022, so the China economy will, according to Morgan Stanley, they will moderate to 5.4, and the consensus view also about 5.4. So that means because 2020 has been depressed, so 2021 will be like a spring. You lift the hand off, the spring will bounce out very strongly. Then come to 2022, it will be normalized. That means you will follow what it has been performing in that manner. So same for the stock market. 2020, because it has been depressed, except for US market, the rest of the market are being depressed very much. So come 2021, the world, most of the stock market should rebound very strongly. You look at the Singapore market for the last 1 week, also running up to the roof, very strong run up, especially the bank counters and all these things, right? Now, after the so-called broad economic view, now we look at the technical views. That means I'll show you some of the charts. Now, Dow Jones Industrial, these all are 1 year daily chart. The Dow Index You see, as plunged as anybody around March 20th to the lowest, but it recovered very fast and maintained its strong momentum until now. Okay, so you can imagine US is having a good time in terms of the stock market performance. The Nasdaq, that means the tech sector, Nasdaq, all the tech stock also perform very well. In fact, tech stock perform much better than the Dow. All right. S&P, which consists of 500 stocks that make up each index. It is more representative of the economy rather. So you can see it didn't run up so much. It runs sideways, and towards the November, December, they call it the Santa Claus rally that has shoot up, break new record. But still, it is still slightly below beginning of last year. Still didn't really shoot up too much. Nikkei 225, the Nikkei index, after plunging down in March, it continued to climb up and then it moderate, and then November, December also run up because the fund manager, in order to close the book nicely for the year end, they all push out the market. Hang Seng, after the plunging below, it climb up and then it taper down again, and then it moved to this level in early 2021. Right? So it is still below the beginning of the year. It's also a negative as far as the index of the Dow is, the Hang Seng index is concerned. STI, one of the worst performing market in the world. Beginning of the year was around this level, almost 3,300. Run plunge and then rebounded and then moved sideways down again. And then November period, the first half of November, December, move up and then go sideways until now. Right? So of course, it's easy to say and comment that if you have bought around March 2021, anything you buy under the sun, most of it, you should be able to get quite good margin by now. But I don't know whether people got the so-called the foresight or got the guts to hold the position. I think by this period, most of them could have sold. And then when it bounce out this level, almost more selling come into the market, push it all the way down to this level. So everybody sell already, plus don't generally need to sell. So that's why there's less resistance. So from November onwards, you can see all the way comes out. I mean, the short seller also have to cover position already. So all this gapping is all a sign of the short seller covering position. So they push up here, right? So for Malaysian market, you see Malaysian market is performing better than Singapore. After plunging down, it take them May, June. By June, they already cover most of the position, and then plunge down again, and then August, close to National Day, they push up again. After that, they pull down. All the politicking in Malaysia bring the market lower, but then just 1 month in November, you can push up to above the beginning of the year. And thereafter, they push higher than that, close end of the year. And then they pull back, and now is at slightly above the last closing of last year. So no doubt of the political and all the problem in Malaysia, from the stock market point of view, is outperform Singapore. Okay, now look at the VIX, the volatility index. So when the markets are very uncertain or very choppy, the volatility index normally shoot up very high. So during the March pandemic peak, the time you can see volatility went up to almost 90%. Right? Since then, it has subsided. When the volatility shoot up very high, either at this level, which is best for trader, this level also good for trader, this also good for trader. But the moment it come closer to this level, the volatility is still there, but the average volatility is around 25%, right? Otherwise, the market will be slipping. Okay, now come to the main attraction of tonight talk, the feng shui view of the stock market. So for those who are new or not familiar with what is feng shui about, I just give an overview comment about what is feng shui about. So it's the building blocks of feng shui consists of, it's a profound art and science that have perpetuated thousands of years, not because purely belief and tradition. Feng Shui application is built upon theories and principles derived from the observations of the nature, and this learning that have been tested and refined through ages to what is known today to us as today. So if you wish to appreciate Feng Shui, we have to understand the fundamental building blocks of this metaphysics as follows. So the principles of which are, we are talking about the cosmic trinity, heaven, earth, and human. Then we're talking about the five elements, 金木水火土, the wood, fire, earth, metal, water. And then we're talking about yin and yang, all right? So effectively, the feng shui concept is to tap on the qi. So earth qi, or the feng shui of the earth, makes up only 1/3 of our store of luck. This is also known as heaven luck and mankind luck. We have no control over heaven luck, the situation we are born into. That means you and I, you decided to born into the Ng family, the Wong family, the Tan family. That is, you have no control. That one, 天注命, you selected that father or the parent that will give birth to you. But we have control over earth luck and our mankind luck. Awareness of the 天地人 plus thus implies weaving a positive pattern of attitudes that engage the best of our outer and inner selves. Learning to use the correct knowledge, we activate the essence of the outer chi of our physical spaces. That means you know where are the chi flowing from which direction to which direction. So you have to, your feng shui master will encourage you or tell you how to tap on those chi in the outer spaces and the inner chi that reside within us. So the inner chi, we have also a lot of chi within our human body, and the moment your chi disappear, that means that yes, the time that you kick the bucket already. That's why we have to so-called protect or preserve this chi within us. You don't want to have longevity or want to have a good life or have longer life. In the process, we live in harmony with our environment, thereby engaging earth luck, and we tap into our own spirituality and our own source of luck, that's mankind luck. So this graphic presentation, 天时地利人和, this is the concept of the trinity of luck. So sometimes we ask ourselves why some people or some countries or some individuals are so lucky, because that person able to identify certain environment and they tap onto the favorable time and climate to benefit from the qi. 地利, geographical and landform condition. Of course, in Singapore or in built-up countries like Singapore, we have not much ability to make use of landforms in that sense. Unlike those big countries like Malaysia, Thailand, China, and all those other big countries. So you can have it, or in Taiwan, all these things, you have a chance to make use of the landform conditions to benefit you, or to build your house, or locate your ancestors' dome, no? Ancestor dome, to sit on, so that the future generation will be better off. Learn her human behavior and coordination. So the Chinese believe that our lives are shaped and influenced by the three types of luck: heaven luck, earth luck, and mankind luck, referred to as the 天地人. Feng Shui is earth luck, which reveals all the ways we can live and move in consonance with the rhythms of our environment. Make us open our hearts and mind to a keen awareness of the invisible energy that pervades living spaces, structures, mountains, and rivers, and the landscape that make up the earth. All right. So if you so-called understand this concept, and you will recognize that why Feng Shui masters still have a role to play in the society, because they help you to identify where are the so-called the 地利, no, the landform, the geographical form, right? And also they also able to calculate where is the best and favorable time and climate to perform certain things. That's why for those who believe, you notice that in Hong Kong or in Germany or quite a number of countries, they still select auspicious date and time for performing certain ceremony, like laying of foundation, or what all this for their big buildings, all this, right? Or opening ceremony of the companies. All right. After the overview or general explanation about what is Feng Shui, I'll share with you the I Ching divination of 2021. Now, for the year 2021, the hexagram is number 22, and this will show up come 4th of February 2021. All right, that is the day, according to the farmer's calendar, where the so-called the new iron, what called metal ox will be given birth. All right, we are now still in the red. We haven't come to the ox year yet. We are still in the red year now. So hexagram 22 is named as Ping, or adorning. Other variations include grace and luxuriant. Is inner or lower trigram. I Ching trigram hexagram consists of the upper trigram and the lower trigram. So the lower trigram is the Li. This part is the Li, Li Gua. And the radiant, or you call it radiant, or you call Huo. And its upper trigram is Ken Gua. Upper trigram is a Ken Gua. Ken represent mountain. So the I Ching mountain fire grace, so mountain fire grace is composed of 3 yin and 3 yang. The continuous line is yang, yang, yang. The broken line is yin, yin, yin. So you have 3 yin and 3 yang. The number of yin and yang is equal. So the world will go through a major restructuring stage. Most businesses will have new directions. However, while they appear good on the surface, the substance is rather empty. The world economy will continue to be unstable, a bit better than the year before. So effectively, this Gua explain that come 2021, the metal ox year, outwardly the world seems to be getting more beautiful and more polished and getting nicer, but inwardly the world is still suffering from the hangover of this pandemic. You know, the many countries will be struggling to survive, to solve all sorts of problems, economic problem, unemployment problem, uh, and many other problems. So effectively, it's not going to be a very good year in that sense, because you can dress up, just like they say, you can 包装, just like those people used to say, that you can use makeup to uh, beautify a person's face, a lady's face, or dress up nicely. But internally or inwardly, that person or that country or that company will be still suffering from a lot of problems that need some time to resolve. That's why, by and large, they expect 2020 onwards, then we should be gradually so-called returning to normal. So 2021 is the year of recovery and reset. Just like a computer, you press a reset button, so everything reset now. So we haven't properly recover yet. Okay, now look at the forecast of the ox year. Normally, ox year is in the 八字 chart is represented by the so-called the year pillar. 八字 is it? They have year, month, day, and hour. Okay, so this year the 八字 chart, the color of the 八字 chart, okay, areas of the life, is it? The black color represent support and authority and resource. So we have two metals in this year, and earth, we have two yellow earth, recognition of power and rank, and we have intelligence and creativity, we have one green, and we have friend, foes, and competition, three water elements. So you notice we have no fire element in the main 八字 chart. Fortunately, we have some small fire in the lower part of the 八字 chart. So generally speaking, economy needs, or the strong economy needs the fire element, and stock market also need the fire element to enhance itself. So here we have one, two, three. We have four elements, but we don't have all the five elements in the main chart. So this chart is this 八字 chart for 2021 is not very so-called strong chart, right? So 八字 chart analysis. Fire is missing from the main chart. However, what is fortunate is that although fire is not in the main chart, it does appear as two units of hidden element to be found in the month pillar of both the tiger and sheep. So the month pillar of the tiger and the sheep, it means the month chart and the day chart, there are some so-called hidden elements of fire. Okay, this is important, as fire is not only the elements of energy, but it is the foundation of qi, of which other elements are dependent upon. Fire also represents money and wealth in 2021. And since the hidden elements of fire appear as a yin fire, as a yang fire, this means that the year has both direct and indirect wealth, luck according around mid-year. And why they say it's luck according about mid-year, okay? 八字chart, year, month, day, and hour. Okay. They also represent the season or the distribution of the year. This is the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So effectively, the second quarter and the third quarter, there should be some uh, good, better performance because of the element of fire is there. So for those who are tapping into the business or the indirect wealth, that means that you want to play in the stock market, all these things. So the money and wealth in 2021 will be appear as yin and yang fire. I mean, around middle of year, according, you should have some good things happening. As there is a surplus of water, because your tree and water element and earth, it also means that there will be a higher probability of argument, backstepping, and fighting for power and position, as well as over money. So this year is because of the too much water and earth, there will be 是非之年, a lot of backstepping, argument, and all these things. You may have a lot of court cases also because of that. Okay, now we look at the annual flying star. Flying star is called the facing. Facing is we look at the whole so-called Yin Metal 辛丑年 this year, 辛丑年.
Right.
So north, south, east, and west. So unlike the conventional compass direction, the feng shui flying star chart is normally designed or laid out this way. So star number 6 is in the central. The well star is number 8 is in the west region. East region is not so good this year. Like East region got this come with Wang is also in the East region. So the good numbers are the 1, right? 1, 6, and 8. And unfortunately, 168 is not in the same line, on the same axis. It can be in diagonal axis, or it can be vertical axis, or horizontal axis. But unfortunately, the one has run into the south direction, right? So south direction is supposedly the better direction, right? So number 2, black signal star. Number 2 is a black signal star. In this year is in the north. Misfortune and signal star this year is in the southeast. Southeast, number 5. Number 3, dispute and quarrel star is in 2021 is in the southwest. Southeast, southwest. Number 3 star is over here. Right. Grand Duke in 2021 in the northeast direction. Number 9 direction. So according to the feng shui guideline, Grand Duke is something like your Tai Sui. So you cannot sit facing the Tai Sui. That means you cannot sit in this axis. You cannot sit facing the northeast direction. Right? If you will find the Tai Sui, then you will run into a lot of headache. 3 killings in 2001 is in the east. Sansa is in the east sector. It means northeast and east also belongs to the not so favorable sector this year. Suiport in 2021 is in the southwest. Suiport is normally directly against the Grand Duke direction. Suiport, you can face it, but you should not. That means you can sit facing the southwest, but you are not supposed to face the northeast because of the Tai Sui direction. So 2021 year of the Yin Metal of the start of the new of the Yin Metal of year, solar new year. That means 过新年 is on the of the 12th of February 2021, 初一，年初一是 12th of February 2021 until 31st January 2022. Right? Lunar New Year, that means the farmer's calendar, the new year, where the birth of the in the ox will start is 4th of February. Every year the same, 4th of February. Oh, and it will last until the 3rd of February 2022. So compatible animal sign in 2021. That means those who are born with this animal sign is going to have a easier life. Not so hot, not so bad. Because you are not against the Tai Sui. So the snake, the rooster, and the rat, those who have these stars are born in these years should be having a better time now. So like this year, the rat is having a tough time. So normally the year where you are born happen to be the year of the particular year is normally no good for you. So conflict animals in 2021 is the goat, the dragon, the horse, and the dog. Those who have this sign. Okay, next we look at the favorable business. Those in the matter, water, and earth. So earth-oriented business, real estate, development and construction company, pharmaceutical, food, matter-oriented business, car, aeroplane, building materials, mining, safety, and security. Water-oriented business, banking, finance, export, wine and liquor, fishing, travel, and logistics. These are general guideline. So unfavorable businesses, those in the wood and fire. Fire-oriented businesses, we have those in education, electronics, show business, and energy sector. That means oil and gas, all this will be not so favorable. Oriented business, clothing, shoes, forestry, farming, Chinese medicine, also not favorable. Okay, next, look at the analysis of the world economy. Governing science number 6, the Earth, white moving, 6 white, the moving star, and the heaven mountain retreat triangle imply the world economy would slowly come out of recession. The nature of many business would change drastically. That's why early on I mentioned is we are pressing the reset button. Many businesses who used to be what I call the
Still very dirty so still got stain mark like that. 你用报纸再 try 看。
so some people, example, traditionally so-called better business, like those people in the oil and gas, you never know, you never ever dream of oil company can almost go bust. All the oil tycoon, the oil producing countries, the OPEC nation, all these things are still trying to struggling to stabilize the oil prices and make the oil prices go up. But in the absence of actual industrial demand, that means if the factories are not manufacturing or producing things and all things, so and everyone or many of the people are working from home, so the demand for transportation also slow down. So you can see that oil prices will be so much different from those days where the oil call command a lot of power, purchasing power. So typically, like example, oil and gas industry will be having a tough time. That's why they are called changing drastically. Traditional retail industry, will be also having a tough time because of the so-called online purchases. Same, take for example, those hotel, traditionally because of either business travel or leisure travel, hotels are able to make decent income. But under the COVID-19 environment, you can find that tourism related, hotel, travel, airline, all are having big trouble. And you never imagine strong companies like Boeing, Airbus, all the big aircraft manufacturer almost go bankrupt. Same with Singapore Airlines, one of the top, better performing airline company also almost go bust. If not, they have done a so-called raise cash, a cash fundraising, and with strong support from Temasek. So same for not only Singapore Airlines, all other major airlines, all also having a tough time. And in US, some of the airlines are selling off all their planes, in order to pay off all their debts and all these things. So you can see that the whole economy has already turned like upside down. You look at the traditional so-called retail industry. You look at Robinson, all the big names in Singapore also have to wind up. And you look at some of the big restaurants and all these things, one outlet after another outlet, they're closing shop. And if you go to shopping mall and this, you'll find that a lot of retail shops are also winding down or reducing their outlets. So you can notice that the world, because of this COVID-19, has shaken up a lot of the business sector. So instead, you notice or you will have heard that the electric car industries, the AI industries, all these are coming into the limelight. So in future, the demand for so-called the businesses will be changed from the traditional mode. So there will be a lot of things that will be shaken up. So those who are able to tap on the new economy or the sunrise industry, like in China, you can see her economy growing up significantly. Its strategy to retreat and then advance will work very well. And more business will be done with the third world country. So nowadays, previously, all the major economy like US, Europe, England, France, Germany, Germany almost like bankrupt. No, they have so much trouble. So they used to be a very strong economy. Same for Japan. One prime minister change after another prime minister come in trying to rescue the country. They still cannot find a solution to the country problem. So Southeast Asia is in the in the number 5 yellow center. The orientation of Southeast Asia is in the the Wang sector under the flying star chart. So natural disasters such as earthquake, hurricane, and flooding may harm its economy further. Instabilities would persist in countries such as Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam, Philippines, etc. So Japan is in the blue area and the triple conflict central. So international conflict may increase. However, its technological advancement may help her economy. USA is at the 8th white money center. Her economy will improve, hence the stock market will continue to perform. However, many businesses may need to refocus and start from scratch. The past policy will still pose horrendous burden on her people. Europe is in the 8th white money center. with UK out of the picture, the remaining country would become more united and economy would improve. So I mean, if you look from the feng shui angle, you 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 tend to question some of these reports or some of the news article that, example, today and over a couple of one week or so, you can hear UK is a so-called marketing itself that the properties are very attractive and the property prices are going up. So you look at it, could this happen? Now that they are not part of the Europe community, all the so-called the major bank, the all the corporate headquarter, all these things, they will no longer need to site or have their headquarter or offices in UK. Now, even some of the headquarters for the big bank, for the headquarter for those major corporation, they are all slowly moving out of UK. Some going to Germany, some going to France, and going all over to Europe. So under these type of circumstances, I mean, it's like more like a hollowing out of the major business center. No? Business center. UK used to be the business center of the European community. So going forward, I can't see how property prices or all this in UK will ever to pick up so soon. They will have a tough time going forward, because all the major businesses are all pulling out of UK. So from the month-to-month analysis of the world stock market, so you can see this is following the farmer calendar, start from February, end in January. So for the February month, that means they divide the month into two halves, or almost behave like two halves. So first half positive, then negative. March also positive, negative. April will be a very good month, positive all the way. So May, positive, negative. June, July, negative, negative. August, positive all the way. So September, negative, positive. October, positive, negative. November, December, January, the last quarter of the year, all the way positive. So let's see whether this year, next year, by the end of this year, you can see whether this forecast or projection is accurate and not so accurate. So year of reset and renewal in 2021. Monetary and fiscal stimulus provide a tailwind for stocks. Low interest rate makes equities, that means stocks, attractive relative to bonds and cash. Right? So now the trend should be, we should be buying global, buy cyclical and recovery stocks. Clusters such as 5G, artificial intelligence, automation, fintech, biotech, green tech, and electric vehicle battery storage. This battery reference to electric vehicle battery, and supply chain businesses. Asia stocks offer a combination of reasonable valuation, robust earning, and secular growth. China already has seen a V-shaped recovery. So by second quarter 2021, the impact of vaccination will reach a critical mass and recovery will be felt towards the end of the year. By and large, the good news to be surfacing after the second quarter. That's why you see, December, January, this is going to be the good period for the stock market because the impact of vaccination will have taken place, and then more economy will be opening up, business will be improving, you know? So recovery will be felt towards the end of 2021. So what is the choice available to you? Stock markets move in cycle, which are caused by expansion and contraction of price earning rate multiple. This is the prime cause of the bull and bear market. So Swiss time index trade at the price earning ratio about 14 times, 14.1 times. Mean the lower point is the mean value, average mean is a 14.7. So target for STI is supposed to be about 309 or 3001 like that. But at the rate the January performance, we seem to going to reach the target before long, before end of January. So you can imagine whether this performance of the stock market can be sustained, till the end of the year. I mean, if all the good news or all the good things all happen in January, then what happened to the other 11 months, right? And don't forget, from the feng shui angle, we are still in the red year. We haven't moved to the cow year or the ox year yet. So it is suggested that don't just leave your money in the bank when even the fixed income, the interest is almost zero or negative. You still leave it there. Take some risk, switch out the money, switch out the cash, buy into some better yielding product, or maybe infrastructure or agriculture related product, or fintech and biotech industry. If you are more familiar with this type of business, you switch out. You will tend to so-called get a better return on your investment versus, of course, the risk. If you are very risk averse or they dare not take any risk, then of course you cannot do any investment because basically you are so worried that you lose your money and all these things, right? So then you cannot do any investment. Okay, so now we come to question time. Wow, I do quite fast now.